Well, let's focus on what happened in Italy today then. It finished Roma 2, Juventus 2. Gab Marcotti with us. Gab, I suppose from a Juve perspective, 2-1 down to 10 men, you take 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to look at it. And you can look at the fact that when you were down to 10 men, you played well. But it's that first hour which I think should be concerning because, Roma have had a pretty rough week leading up to this. Obviously, the Milik deal not going through, Dzeko staying, pressure mounting on Fonseca, the whole nonsense with Diawara being incorrectly registered, which meant that they lost a point at Verona. So, when they went out there, I thought they took the game to Juve. Dzeko certainly missed at least two clear-cut chances to put this game out of reach. And then, like in the last half hour, when they have the man advantage, it was almost as if they decided, well, let's sit on this lead. And that's a very dangerous thing to do against Juve at all times because, Juve they just kind of never go away, right? And whether it's, somebody falling in the box or an individual moment of brilliance, in this case, it was Cristiano Ronaldo doing his, 45-second hang time thing, a tremendous header of the ball, and that was that. And then suddenly it was 2-2, and I think Roma, left to rue 2 points drop. They would have taken 2-2 ahead before the game, but given the way the game unfolded, I think not a happy night in Rome today.
Gab, how does he stay in the air for so long?
I have no idea. I mean, I think the point of impact for the header, I think it was calculated at something like 2 meters and 28 centimeters. I'm going to guess that's round about 7'5", 7'6", something like that. It's not just how high he leaps, it's the fact that he seems to to stay up in the air. And he kind of, while he's floating in the air, he seems to sort of move his neck so that he can perfectly impact the ball and guide it. Whatever. I mean, the guy is simply a freak of nature and one of the greatest headers of the ball I think the game has ever seen.
He certainly got his boss out of jail slightly. Pirlo's honeymoon period over after the great opening week. Wrote his dissertation. Whoa, it's amazing. Reality struck today.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the honeymoon is over, but I think there are certain home truths. So in this game, he stuck with the same system as last time. He inserted Morata up front with Cristiano, Ramsey in behind, and he moved Kulusevski to wing back. Whereas in the last game at wing back, you had this kid Frabotta who's young, but actually is a fullback and will follow instructions. Kulusevski is a different sort of player. Never really played that position much before, and he's a much more forward-minded player. And when you commit so many men forward the way they do, well, your back three are going to be left exposed to the counterattack. Roma broke very well. I thought Mkhitaryan had a very good game. Veretout had a good game. Some sharp passing, and then all of a sudden, you had Chiellini and Bonucci having to defend, and Danilo having to defend one-on-one in open spaces, and that's always risky. I think this is some stuff that they need to work on, whether it's different defensive movements, if they're going to play that way, or, frankly, a more mobile defender in there in the three. I don't think Chiellini's going to be able to play every game this season. I mean, he missed, obviously, injured almost all of last season. We might see some more of Demiral, perhaps. And obviously you've got Matthijs de Ligt to come back in November. But, this is a gamble. Now, Pirlo believes in playing this way, believes in defending from the front. Well, if you're going to do that, you need to create more chances and create more shots when you are in the final third and do a better job hanging onto the ball, do a better job snuffing out the transitions before the opposition get the ball into your half. And I think, this is still going to come with training. He has not had a long time with these players. So the honeymoon I don't think is over yet. It's just an acknowledgement that there is a lot of work to do.
And there is more vulnerability there, you feel, as well, Gab, which of course could impact us when it comes to the title race next year.
Oh, look, I mean, I think there was always going to be more vulnerability because, when you look at this, Juventus this season, effectively, adding Morata, Weston McKennie, and Kulusevski, and going with a rookie coach, and then you look at Inter and obviously what they spent, or the players they added with the likes of Hakimi and Vidal, and so obviously, and Kolarov, Inter obviously reloading, and Juventus didn't end the season well. So it was always going to be more wide open this year. And obviously other contenders, whether it's Lazio or Atalanta. I think Juventus took this on board. I think Juventus are comfortable with the transition year. I think they want to transition to a different sort of playing, while also making sure that they get the best out of Cristiano. Cristiano likes having players around him, and this is part of what Pirlo has pledged to do with his system. The difficulty is you got to get the balance right at the other end. And again, it doesn't mean you have to be more defensive. It just means you have to work on certain things defensively, because Bonucci and Chiellini are tremendous defenders, even though they're older, but they're not used to defending in these circumstances. And, it's going to be a process for them as well.
Meanwhile, Gab, Milan fans have suffered more than most, yet off the back of that fine end to the last season, and a comfortable, non-eventful, very nice win again this weekend. A bit of consistency, something that they've been desperate for so long.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're queuing me up for the Zlatan joke about how COVID got Zlatan rather than the other way around, but I think it was important. It was important for them to show that they're not Zlatan dependent. It was important on the back of that game on Thursday night against Bodo Glimt, who really took them to the wire. In the end, it was a 3-2 victory, but obviously a lot more jitters than Milan would have wanted. I think it's important when you're dropping Tonali into a midfield like this. It's going to take time for everything to work, and it's going to take time, I think, for the team to adjust to playing with Zlatan and without Zlatan. So again, not much in the way of opposition today, but they got the job done and they're growing.
Napoli, final word on them, 6-0, Gab.
Gattuso's still not happy afterwards. He said, there was a lack of balance, blah, blah, blah. I don't know
you won 6-0.
Even Chucky Lozano scored 2 goals. But tremendous performance again from Victor Osimhen. He hasn't scored in his first 2 games, but he has done everything else so far. The guy is walking on air in Naples. Early, I know. But so far, looks to be one of the signings of the summer, if not the signing of the summer in Serie A. A tremendously exciting striker.
Gab Marcotti, as always, thank you so much for your thoughts. Just a reminder then of all the results that we saw this weekend. The week concludes tomorrow live on ESPN Plus at 2:40. Bologna taking on Parma.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.